Dear students, in this video we will deal some of the MCQs of the chapter genetics, that is chapter number 2 in biology. Let's see a few MCQs. Number first is, which sex chromosome is present in all mature human sperm cells? All of you know that sperm cell is a male gamete and it has either X or Y chromosome. The one X chromosome is definite and the other one may be X chromosome or Y chromosome. So it may have either, it has X and Y chromosome in pair. If you see, it has X and Y chromosome. So the sperm may have, in the formation of gametes, the number of chromosomes reduces to half. So it may have either X or Y chromosome. So option number B is correct in MCQ number first. Which one of the following is the phenotypic monohybrid ratio in F2 generation? So monohybrid cross is a cross made between two homozygous parents in which we study the inheritance of a single character, and when you make the cross you will see that in the F2 generation we'll get the ratio of the monohybrid cross as 3:1. So answer number C is correct here. If a pure tall plant is crossed with a pure dwarf plant, then the offsprings will be, obviously they will be all tall. Let's see how. If a pure tall plant, that is denoted by capital TT, if it is crossed with a pure dwarf plant, that is small t, the gametes formed here will be capital T, and the gametes formed here will be small t, and because all the gametes of one parent is same and the other parent is also same, so if you make a checkerboard and if you try to see the formation of the offsprings, you will get the same type of progeny. That is, even if the one dominant allele is there, so all the plants will be tall. So here the answer will be all tall. Next question is, after mitotic cell division, a female human cell will have total number of chromosomes in the human cell is 23 pairs, that is 46. And if it is a female human cell, 22 pairs, that is 44 are autosomes. And because it is a female human cell, obviously the other pair will be X chromosome. So here the answer will be 44 plus XX chromosome. Number 5, the cross was made between tall and dwarf plants. In F1 generation, all plants were tall. Obviously, that we have seen just now in this cross, that in F1 generation, you will have all the tall plants. Now, when F1 plants are cell, the tall and dwarf plants are produced in ratio 3:1. Obviously, when you cross among themselves, when you cross these F1 generation plants among themselves, that is capital T small t and capital T small t. And similarly, if you make another checkerboard here, or that is also known as Punnett square, you will get here capital TT, capital T small t, capital T small t and small t small t. That is the ratio of tall is to dwarf plants is 3:1. So that is the correct ratio mentioned here, 3:1 in F2 generation, and this is due to the segregation of the alleles or segregation of the genes. That is also called as law of segregation. Segregation means the gametes formation, during gamete formation, these alleles, or you can say these genes, they separate out and only one enters each gamete. So because of law of segregation, this 3:1 ratio is possible in F2 generation. Next is, the recessive gene is one that expresses itself in homozygous condition. Recessive gene is one which we write in small letters, or only if it is in homozygous condition, then it will show its effect. If another, you can say here like one dominant gene is also present, then the dominant gene will show its effect, not the recessive gene. So recessive gene should be in homozygous condition to show its effect. Next is, genetics is the study of mechanism of inheritance. What is the transmission of genetic information from generation to generation known as? Same thing, that is inheritance. Which chromosomes can be found in a single sperm? Again, the similar question from the first question. Here either the chromosome of single sperm may have either X chromosome or it may have either Y chromosome. Which structure will be found in the nucleus of a body cell in a woman? The X chromosome will be found in the nucleus of a body cell in a human woman. Chromosomes found in two sexes in human beings, very easy. Male have XY chromosome and female have XX chromosomes. So sex chromosome or allosome. So the option number 1 is correct. What is always found in female gametes and may be found in male gametes? That is one X chromosome, because female have both X chromosomes and male have one X and one Y. So the common feature is only one X chromosome. In a plant species, allele for red flower is dominant to allele for white flowers, and homozygous red colored flowers are crossed with homozygous white plants. So what is the color flower produced by the offsprings of this cross? So obviously this is again a monohybrid cross. So all the plants produced in F1 generation will be red, because red is the dominant color here. So answer number 1 is correct. Which word describes an individual who has two identical alleles for a particular gene? If you have two identical alleles, it may be dominant, may be recessive, then what this condition is termed as? It is termed as homozygous condition. So here the answer will be homozygous. The allele for detached earlobes is dominant to the allele for detached earlobes is dominant to attached earlobes. Now two parents are heterozygous for the detached earlobes. So the genes may be opposite. You can take it as capital D and small d. Okay, let's make a cross. Capital D for detached earlobes and small d for the attached earlobes. And both the parents are heterozygous. It means the alleles are different. Now if you make a cross between the two, the same type of Punnett square you have to draw. Capital D, small d, capital D, small d, and here you will have capital D, capital D, capital D, small d, capital D, small d, and small d, small d. Now they are asking the probability of the first child having attached earlobes. So these checkerboard represent 100%. So these are detached earlobes, detached earlobes, detached earlobes, and attached earlobes. So the probability of having first child, there is equal probability of having all the four probabilities are equal. So the one probability shown by this box, so that is 25%. So the first child is having 25% of having attached earlobes. Next question is the phenotype. Which term is used for an organism that has two different alleles? Now similar question, same alleles and it is homozygous condition. If you have different alleles for a particular gene, that is heterozygous condition. The phenotype of an organism is phenotype is what we see, external characteristics, that is observable features. The phenotype of an organism is its observable features, which we can easily see from the outside. What will be the genotype of the offspring resulting from a genetic cross between two individuals, one of which is homozygous dominant and other a heterozygous dominant? Now here, if you again make a cross, now here something different is given. One parent is homozygous and other is heterozygous. Now if you make a cross between these two, capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, capital T, capital T, capital T, capital T, small t, capital T, small t. So 50% chance of homozygous tall and 50% chance of heterozygous tall. So here the answer will be 50% capital TT and 50% capital T, small t. When white flowered pea plants are crossed with red flowered pea plants, offspring F1 will obviously have red flowers because it is dominant, and if F1 plants are pollinated within themselves, F2 contain red and white flowers in ratio 3:1. Now which statement explains this? The allele for red flower is dominant. Obviously that is the correct thing. So answer will be from first two. And the F1 plants are all heterozygous. We have seen already so many crosses. See, in F1 you will have all the heterozygous plants. So the first one is correct here. A cross between a tall plant and a short pea plant resulted in progeny that were all tall plants. Why that is so? Because tallness was the dominant trait, and therefore in F1 generation all the plants were tall. In the next video, we will deal some MCQs of the next chapter of biology.